Okay, 100 days out from King of the Platform 5. Speed bench today. We're actually going to be doing real speed bench. And so far, I think the less is more approach to my accessories is definitely helping out because pulled a PR yesterday and I don't feel like I'm going to die that much today. So we'd better make use of that and put some sauce on these presses. I always think it's going to be so cool to try to talk while setting up the equipment. Then when I'm watching it back in the edit, I'm like, gosh darn it, that was lame. But I did order chains because I like running chains on speed bench and we don't really have a good band peg setup. But get a little bit of AR, I figure we're going to run the Greg Panora style band setup, which isn't going to be perfect, but because the bands are pulling up the bench, it should help me with finding more upper back. So let's give it a run.
And if you're new to the channel, this is me documenting everything that is and will be necessary to go from a complete pec rupture and repair in 2023 all the way to reaching my goal of hitting the biggest total in Canadian history. We started out coming back from that pec tear in under 9 months to hit an all-time PR total, then moved on to dropping over 100 pounds of body weight in order to start building back better, which is what we are working on right now. Not a whole lot of this has been fun or easy, but my hope is that by sharing the process, you're going to be able to learn something that will make you a better lifter.
And if it feels like it's going to be stupid, we'll just pull the bands off. Felt good. We'll put a plate on. Plan today is 6.5 since we're running a band setup that I haven't really run before. Not sure where we're going to load it, so we'll see how this one moves, then make a call for work sets. We can definitely go up from there, but I also think I need to raise the rack height up because that's a pretty low unrack. And all I'm looking for execution-wise here is tight eccentric, tight catch, tight press. And also tight rest period, so we're getting right back in her. And if you're wondering why I'm not touching my chest, it's just because upper back tension is dialed in and lat catch is getting in the way of getting all the way down there. Tricep bump to catching up. Not used to bands.
Go one more.
2 more.
Is it 2? Oh, you're...
Woo! 1 more. Arms dying. I actually really like that band setup because what I was talking about, because it really forces the lats to come on freaking hard, and you can definitely tell why Greg runs it that way. So even if the chains do show up next week, we're probably going to stick with this setup because it felt very saucy. Anyways, because we are rolling on the less is more plan, as much as I don't want to because I really freaking enjoy it, I'm ditching the barbell overhead slot today, so we're going to go grab some dumbbells. With me running this as second movement slot today instead of third, plus feeling a lot less dead than last week, plan is to see how the warm-ups feel, and then we might have a little bit of fun. So we'll give the 120s a nice little feel. Adequately poppy. So 150s next, and we'll use this to figure out what we're doing for the top set. And that was also pretty poppy. What I'm thinking is, I know next week I'm going to be going flat dumbbell, what I have planned for the max effort slot, so we might get a little bit silly here today. And last week, the 160s were fueled by being a little bit pissed off. Today, we're just going to have some fun. So, 180s, let's crank. We're good. Yeah, that was fun. We are going to have a freaking good bench in December. And don't worry, we didn't forget about overhead press, but we're going to run something that's going to be a little more pumpy squeezy than the barbell. So we're going to give this Panada stack-loaded doohickey a whirl and see if we get some good delt contraction here. No, I don't like that. Fuck. I am so much bigger than the last time I used this thing. We gotta go a little lower. Good news is, it still feels phenomenal. So let's finagle our way into the thing so we can crank. Temptation to go up is very high, but I'm going to make the smart call and leave it here for today. We'll be doing a second set though, and the differentiation on whether or not I'm going to do 2 sets of a top set or just one big top set is going to kind of come down to the goal of movement, because on the stuff where I'm trying to be strong, I'd rather just do one and freaking send it like I did on the dumbbells, but when I'm going for more of a muscly connection, quality contraction intent, I'm going to jam on 2. So we'll give her another crank. This thing does feel phenomenal. But I'm going to pay attention to how things are feeling over the next couple weeks, because this guy is a lot of front delt clavicular pec. But since I'm only going to be doing run shoulder thing today moving forward, if it does start to feel like I do need more side delt in the picture, I'll probably swap to a machine that's more of a vertical press versus the incline. And because we learned the hard way last week that 2 hard push triceps movements probably isn't a wise choice right now, we're going to run this guy, keep her nice and light, get a pump for today's triceps part 1. We probably can go up from here because this is really light, but we'll get a good warm-up set in. I actually think it's going to take 10 million reps, so we're just going to go up. Hopefully this is appropriate loading for that pumpy intent. And that's the feel we were looking for. So one more there, and like I kind of can feel the elbow spice at the beginning of the set, but it does dissipate towards the end, so it tells me I'm loaded it appropriately to keep the elbow getting better and better. Also realizing that I need to find a better place to put the camera for this thing. And this is definitely one of the situations where the movement absolutely sucks because it's so hard, but that also makes it kind of not suck in the big picture or something. And for triceps part 2, I was thinking I wanted to run a higher rep pushdown, but then I realized I don't want to have to fight for a cable machine. So we're going to run some bands. Might be a little bit aggressive with averages choked in the mono, so let's see if it's too difficult. Nah, feels appropriate. None of that Jordan Peters double strong band level yet, but we'll get there. And I do think it's another case of just not having a cable right in my face, but these are one of my favorite pushdown variations to run for sure. So, you know we're going to run another. Pump is going wild, so let's make it worse. Because got the yoga blocks out again to run those full range push-ups. And because I have been feeling a little bit roasted, not going to do the time protocol today, just going to do 2 sets where we're pushing a little bit deeper into the reps. And these are absolutely one of my favorite things to do, just because they feel so damn good on the shoulders, the elbows, the pecs, just everything. So we'll give her a couple minutes to let the pump settle and then get in for round 2. And we're expecting some fall off here, but we're gonna do our best to minimize her. And that got adequately juicy. And had Buddy comment on the other day's vlog asking why I'm using so much machines. And a lot of it comes down to like, these Panada machines are so freaking hard that people rarely use them. Like a plate load pull down that I only have to put 2 plates on is pretty like hefty at the hands. But the other thing is that because these machines are so hard and the strength curve is so gnarly, I definitely think it is going to be better for me than a cable pull down. So I don't know. That's why we're running the pull downs on the machines, because they are freaking phenomenal feeling machines. Gotta raise the handles up. So let's crank. Such a phenomenal feel. Okay, round two. We're rolling up the sleeves so my arms look kind of big. So freaking good. And we're getting on the other shiny golden Panada row machine for some spready rear delt intent rows. And goal here is just try to pull as wide as I can as I'm pulling or something. But the reason I like doing this is it makes spreading against the bench press bar feel super intuitive, and I need to catch a little bit more of that, so we shall crank out the rest of this set. We'll go up for the next set. And this should be a pretty hefty crank. Stoked. Arm time now. And for that, we're back over here to run the stretchy, squeezy, squeezy incline curls. So juicy. And the whole reason I'm running these is not stretch median hypertrophy. I'm trying to expose the position where my bicep is going to be the most vulnerable so I can make it less vulnerable in the bottom of bench press as well as under the squat bar. Round two, then we'll go crank on some hip flexors. Stretch is feeling much less terrible on the second set, FYI. Yeah. On second thought, all of the cable towers in the corner where there's room to lay down are being used. And it's been a while since we've run the twist machine, so we're gonna run the twist machine. And we can probably go up, but I'll touch the other side first. So, more weight coming up. And this is harder than I remember it, so it's probably a good thing we're bringing it back. What I'm kind of thinking too is when we removed these, the brace kind of took a turn for the worse. I do think most of that was being overcooked, but I'm kind of hopeful that bringing this back helps, you know, wake the twist and twist stuff up so we can brace better. So we'll give her another crank. Yeah, they definitely feel like they could use some touching, so glad we did this. And again, I don't know how much of it is the little bit of volume pullback we did. I don't know how much it is stabilizing out the diet and pulling the egregious amount of food that I have been eating down, but I am feeling so good and feeling relatively fresh at the end of the session. Like it's refreshing. And I was kind of thinking to myself, like, I wish I did this sooner so I didn't have to go through those couple of really dead feeling weeks. But the thing is that whole overhooking myself period, how well the floor press moved on Monday, how well the deadlift moved yesterday, how well the dumbbells moved today, it goes to show that during that overcooking, it's not like I didn't get anything out of it. It's just that I wasn't able to show it because I was, well, overcooking myself. And there are so many lifters that get to that point where they do feel fatigue smashed and they think they need to take a major pullback and deload everything and not even touch a barbell. But I think the point that I want to make with how this week has gone, like, I still got heavy touches in on Monday. I still got some heavy touches in on Wednesday. I still pushed the dumbbells heavier today, and each day I felt progressively better and better. So the point I'm trying to make is that doing a full-on deload, most lifters don't really need that. They just need a little bit of a strategic pullback in some areas, and they should be able to maintain a relatively high level of performance while they're doing it if they pull back in the right areas. So if you are fatigue smashed, it's probably not like we need to reset across the board. It's just we need to be a bit more strategic with where we're pushing and the jumps we're taking on our top end weights. And you should be able to catch a hell of a lot more recovery back than you expect. And then you're not losing out on an entire week of training because you're just deloading everything. But with that said, I am getting more and more excited for this meet as the feels continue to come back. And I think the biggest thing for me right now is not getting too excited now that we do feel good and go back to just cranking the shit out of myself, because I do not want to put myself back in that hole. So we're going to keep things, you know, a little bit more calm for a little while to ensure that we are letting the ball get rolling. And once the ball is getting rolling, again, at that, you know, 9, 8, 7 week out point, we're going to start cranking the volume up a little bit to set ourselves up to pull back through the peak. And I think we're set for a pretty fun meet at this point. So all I got to do now is just not suck at squats on Saturday. And if we can not suck at squats on Saturday, we're going to be more than on track. So that's what I got for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out. Have a good night, and I will see you in the team.